Hello, my name is Kayla Scott. I'll be doing part 1 of module 4.1, the pig dissection. I prepped prior to starting the video by opening the Carolina biological kit that I ordered offline for this module. And I have on the goggles provided by the kit, the lab coat provided by the kit, and I washed my hands and put on the gloves provided by the kit. So I opened up the kit and I have in front of me the specimen, and step 1 says read the following information. The internal organization of fetal pigs is typical of most mammals, including humans. The majority of structures you will be asked to identify are equivalent structures in your own body. Pay close attention to the spatial relationships of organs and other structures you reveal throughout dissection. Realize that their positions in the body are not random but are rather associated with other organs as organ systems. Identify each structure and determine its general function. For step 2, we're going to start by removing the pig from the plastic bag and placing it in the dissecting tray, pouring any excess liquid into the sink. So now we're going to sit here and we're going to identify parts of the fetal pig itself. So we're going to identify the head, the trunk of the body, appendages, and tail. So I'm not sure how good of an angle this is for the video, but this part of the body here is going to be the head. I'll hold it up a little bit so you can see it better. This would be the head of the body here. This is going to be the trunk of the body here from here to here. And this is going to be the tail of the body here. So we do have 4 appendages that include hooves. This would be appendage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the appendages, and hooves are on each end of them. Be here, 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 and here. Identify the external ears, mouth, nose, and nostrils. Okay, so now we're going to put the pig on its back, which is also known as its dorsal surface, and we're going to examine its abdomen. Okay? So here we have its umbilical cord that is now tied. And in the video, it showed that if it is tied like this, we want to make a small cut so that we're able to see the umbilical vein and arteries. So I'm gonna do that here with the scalpel provided by the kit I have right here. I already uncapped it. I'm gonna pull it away. Okay. Okay. Yep, so I do see 2 small umbilical arteries, and they look like a small pinkish color. And I see 1 small umbilical vein that looks a bit blue. It's fairly larger than the rest of them. Okay, so moving on to the next, we do have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of nipples, which are also known as mammillary papillae. Okay, and now we're going to identify the anus, which is going to be right there, as you can see in the video. And I do not see a urogenital opening, so let's go look back by the umbilical cord. Alright, and right there, underneath the umbilical cord, I see genital papilla, which makes my pig male. And then I'm going to look back by the anus, and there it is right there, and there's the scrotum. So my pig is definitely a male fetal pig. Now we're going to be doing step 4, which is the mouth cavity, the buccal cavity. And so now we're going to cut open the mouth here. I'm going to use the scissors provided here. So now we have to identify taste buds on the tongue, which I see some right here on the side, taste buds on the tongue. I do have baby teeth present. You can't really see this all that well. Alright, but I do have some baby teeth on the top, located 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I don't have any on the bottom. None on the bottom. I do have one located right here under the tongue and 1, 2 located on the other side of the tongue. Alright. Now we locate the hard and soft palate. The hard palate is going to be located right here, the top of the mouth. It's hard. Soft palate, it's going to be right here on the back of the tongue. Right there. And then the glottis and epiglottis. Alright, I gotta open the mouth up just a little bit wider if I can. I can see it, but you're not going to be able to in the video, so. There we go. Alright. Let's bring this just a tad closer. Okay, open this up a little bit. Get a good angle. There we go. Alright. So now we got the epiglottis, which is this little piece of skin right there. Okay, that flap protects the glottis, which is this hole to the trachea. Right there. Beginning step 5 is the internal anatomy. We're going to be placing the pig in the dissecting tray and tying him to the dissecting tray to get him set up to examine the internal anatomy. Alright, now we're going to start with the dissection using scissors. Make a cut just in front of the umbilical cord and extend it forward to the neck, making this dissection. Be careful not to cut too deeply, for you will damage the organs in the body cavity. Okay, so I'm going to use the scalpel. Made 2 cuts laterally at the forwardmost part of the chest cavity, making cuts marked A in figure 2. Okay. Make 2 cuts laterally at the forwardmost part of the abdominal cavity, cuts marked B in figure 2. Notice a thin sheet of muscle separating the anterior thoracic cavity from the most posterior abdominal cavity. This is the diaphragm, which you must isolate before you can pin back the two flaps. Oh, okay. I think I cut. Now make 2 cuts just anterior to the insertion of the hind limbs. Finally, make 2 cuts around the umbilical cord just anterior to the hind limbs. Cuts D for male pigs. The umbilical cord cannot be turned back until the umbilical vein running from the cord to the liver is cut. So the umbilical vein is this little guy right here, and now I'm going to cut it in half. Ta-da! Okay. Alright. Turn it towards the camera so you can see that I'm all open. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to identify the organs of the body here in the chest cavity and the abdominal cavity. That's the trachea. I'll lift it up a little. Okay. Then going down a little bit into the chest cavity, we have the lungs here that deal with gas exchange that allow the fetal pig to be able to breathe. And just here in the center, we have the heart, which pumps blood throughout the pig's body. And just below that, we have the diaphragm, and it separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. And the function expands and contracts during respiration. Just below that, we have the liver, and the liver function regulates the amount of sugar and fat that goes into the bloodstream. This right here is the umbilical vein, which I cut in half to reflect this piece here. And the function of the umbilical vein is to transport oxygenated blood to the fetus from the placenta. Just below the liver and the umbilical vein located is the stomach, and it's the chamber that holds and digests food. And next to that we have the spleen. Let's see if you can see it. Open that up a little bit. Right here we have the spleen, and the spleen filters and stores blood. It filters out and gets rid of old, worn out red blood cells, and it's your natural immune system that fights against germs. Next, we're going to move lower and into the abdominal cavity a little bit more. And this here, all of this here, is the small intestine. And the purpose of the small intestine is to help with digestion and to absorb nutrients. And just next to that, move this around a little bit, is the large intestine, and that's to help with water absorption and for feces storage. Alright, now to either side of the intestines we have kidneys. I don't know how well, let's move this actually. Okay. There you go, you can see it pretty well right there. That right there is a kidney. And let's find the other side. That right there is kidney number 2. Right there. And the function of the kidneys is to filter blood. And also to produce urine. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the endocrine gland, which is also known as the pancreas. And it's located up here underneath the stomach. I'm going to give you a better view. Alright, so it's located right here. You can't really see it all that well. There you go. And its function is to monitor and control blood sugar levels. And also it produces an enzyme that helps with digestion. Next I'm going to show you the urinary bladder. And that is going to be right here. This is the urinary bladder, and it's a muscle, a sac that stores urine before it's released. And just next to it on either side are 2 little structures right here that are the umbilical arteries. And the function of the arteries are, those are vessels that transport deoxygenated blood away from the fetus to the placenta during the formation of the fetal pig. And that concludes Module 4.1, Part 1 of the fetal pig dissection.